What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and we are out here in the middle of the freaking desert. We are testing the Galaxy S20 Space Zoom, and I'm gonna go to the top of a mountain to take some photos of the scenery, the city, whatnot, and we're gonna see how this thing performs. What a time to be alive in tech, right? This is absolutely crazy, but we're gonna see what's usable from this camera at those various zoom levels. I think that's important to know, and I have some suspicions based on testing that I've previously done. So let me know your predictions in the comment section below, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. And well, let's go test this camera out. We are all finished up here with our camera tests, and I might hold my same position from the video I did a while back about the Galaxy S20 Ultra and the camera and stuff. You want to check that video out, link below. But let's go ahead and see what all these photos look like. Alright, just got back to the office, and we are going to fire up the computer, load in all the photos, and well, let's see how everything turned out. All right, so I got everything set up here, and we're gonna take a look at the photos that I took on the mountain. I had to get everything organized, and we're just gonna see how far can we go to have usable photos, because I feel like that's very, very important here. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So let's go ahead and actually jump inside of the actual photos here. You know what? Okay, so wide angle lens, ultra wide angle lens, I should say. Looks pretty darn good. I mean, like, when we zoom in here, you can see that we have some little edges here and stuff like that. Everything looks cool. Like, I really don't have any problem with the ultra wide or the 1X. It's when we start to get up here, like, let's backtrack. This is 100X right here, 100 times. It just looks bad. Like, 100 times, 30 times, okay, that's all right. But like, what is this? Is Bob Ross back here painting some happy trees? Like, it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't look good. But when we get right here, 10 times zoom, that's a hybrid without losing any image quality. And that's pretty apparent right here when you look at this photo. Like, everything looks pretty good in here, in my opinion anyway. This is a pretty good, I mean, to be able to take this shot right here from downtown Phoenix from the top of a mountain is actually pretty extraordinary. I mean, kudos to you, Samsung. Even the 30X, okay, sure, 30 times zoom, I'll take it, I'll give you that. But this is broad daylight, so it was very bright out. This is about as good as it's going to get as far as the actual quality goes. But let's jump away from that. We'll go into this number 2 set here. And I did have another idea too. We will compare like a 100 times zoom and like a 30 times zoom to a 108 megapixel photo, so stay tuned for that. But let's jump into the second one here, and this is a very similar situation. I just stepped through all of the zoom levels here. We have, you know, the 1 times, 2 times, 4 times, and I'm gonna get all the way up to this cactus over here at 100 times, and you can kind of see how that goes. Now, mind you, I am using a tripod for this, and that is kind of a necessity in terms of keeping this stable while you're shooting these photos. Keep that in mind. When you get up to like 30 times or 100 times and you have to use the little viewfinder on the screen here, yeah, you kind of need a tripod. So we're at 30 times zoom right here, and that just, it doesn't look good to me. 100 times zoom, you can see I'm panning around here a little bit. Look at the lines around that. Like, it looks like a cartoon at this point. Like, it's not hanging in there too well. So when we open up these and look at the actual photos here, we're not actually in that bad of a spot in terms of everything stepping up to 30 times zoom. I mean, this is a 10 times zoom shot, and you know, we still have some detail. The sunlight is what's giving us those that little glow around it. Just the glare from the little spiky things on the cactus. But you can see here, get into 30 times zoom. Okay, that's not terrible. 100 times zoom, just hashtag oil painting, in my opinion. Again, I'm not complaining. It's amazing that we have this kind of technology here, but you know, I mean, it's kind of it's not something that you're going to use every single day. All right, so next up here, we are taking a look at just this scene right here. You can see I zoomed all the way in 100 times to this house that was pretty far away. I don't know exactly how far it was, but it was pretty far. I'm on top of a mountain, you guys. One of like the tallest viewpoints in Phoenix where you can kind of see everything. So I'm stepping backwards actually, 30 to 10 to 4 times zoom, 2 times zoom, and then 1 time zoom here, and then we're out to the ultra wide angle lens after that. And okay, so keeping all that in mind, let's take a look at the photos here that I took. And the last one that we're gonna look at is actually a 108 megapixel photo. So here we have the 100 times zoom shot, and you can see here, you know, I mean, all these 100 times zoom shots look exactly the same. They look like Bob Ross painted them. That's what I'm gonna go with. But you can see, I can see that's definitely a horse right there in the front. Like that is 100% a horse. And then we do have just this regular house right here. So if we step back from that, you know, here we are at a 30 times zoom. This one actually looks okay. Like if I'm posting this on social media and I'm kind of scaling out back a little bit, you can see here, that's actually a pretty acceptable photo. And the fact that I took that from way back here, like that's absolutely crazy, right? That's pretty insane. So this is our 30 times zoom shot. That's okay. Here's our 10 times zoom. That's even pretty cool too. And we can zoom in a little bit on that 10 times zoom. But once we do, you can start seeing things just getting a little messy, kind of a little blurred and clobbed together. Anyway, let's take a look at our 108 megapixel shot. So for reference, we have this one. This shot right here is 100 times zoom from the camera, right? 100 times zoom right here. And if we go to our 108 megapixel photo, let's zoom in and find that house that I took a picture of and get a comparable shot. We are, okay. I mean, it's already KO on this guy. So here is our 100 times zoom, right? And it looks like an oil painting, but you can see there's a lot of detail when you compare it to this one, which is 108 megapixels zoomed in. So just because you're getting more resolution doesn't mean it's going to look better than a digital zoom. And that is important to note here because just between these two, I mean, it's definitely not comparable. I guess if I zoom out a little bit, I can kind of see the horse there just slightly. But once we get in here, it's like, what is that, a cat? I don't know what it is. Having the 100 times digital zoom is definitely better than cropping in on a 108 megapixel photo, at least on this specific right here. What they're using for the zoom is absolutely awesome. And the algorithms are at play here, as you can see, because when we go to that 108 megapixel photo, it just kind of looks like butt when we zoom in to the same level. So this is where I did a similar thing, and I went all the way in on the buildings here. You can see all the way in there, and then we step down again, and this is our 100 times zoom shot on a building in downtown Phoenix. Random building, I don't know. But if we take our 108 megapixel photo all the way up here, we can zoom in to that same building, making it a little bit clearer, but here's our building right there, this little guy. I mean, that compared to that, it looks a lot better, you know? So I would say 100 times zoom definitely looks good when you compare it to a zoomed in, a cropped in 108 megapixel photo. The quality is clearly better. At this point, we're kind of polishing a turd. I think it's cool though, just being able to see that far. Like downtown Phoenix, I mean, look at zoomed out here. You can't even see where those buildings are. I mean, you can if I get a little bit closer, but look at that. Like that is crazy. Now finally here we have the last shot, and I just zoomed in on some mountains here. Here's our zoomed in mountain shot. This right here is 10x. Looks very good. I'm a big fan of this one. Here's our 30x, and here's our 100 times zoom. I keep saying X, sorry about that. It's just a habit. But let's go ahead and take a look at our 108 megapixel photo. All right, so here's our 108 megapixel photo, and we have, well, let's see, we have our 10 times zoom right here. So let's go find that in our 10 times zoom. And it actually looks pretty good at 10 times zoom. So comparing, let's get them kind of similar. Here's our 10 times zoom photo right here. This actually looks pretty nice. I'm a fan of this photo. The colors are a little less saturated than I would prefer, but when you compare it to a zoomed in 108 megapixel photo, well, I mean, I can see what it is, but no contest. And if we bump it up to the 30 times, ooh, like it doesn't get any better, you guys. Like, I don't know how else to convey this to you. 10 times zoom on the Galaxy S20 Ultra, pretty amazing. 100 times zoom, party trick, and 30 times zoom, hit or miss, definitely, but I think that this phone has an amazing camera, right? And the fact that we're having this kind of technology in a phone leaves me to complain a lot less about what is happening here with all of these photos. And I will drop a gallery. I'll just upload a bunch of these into a gallery. I'll leave it in the description for you in case you want to check it out. But I think that, you know, regardless of where we're at, now this is a cactus. So we have our standard, and then we jump to 5, and we jump to 10, and we jump to 30. And this actually doesn't look too bad, but I wasn't that far away from the actual cactus here. So it wasn't losing a lot of detail because of distance, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I digress. You guys get the point here. I think that the 100 times zoom is cool. Like I've said, I'm super in awe of the innovation that Samsung is doing here, but I don't think you're gonna use it very often. This is an epic phone. I'm a big fan of it. And I'm a big fan that they're just throwing whatever in there. They're like, hey, let's flex. Let's just do whatever we can in this phone. And I appreciate that so much. But if you want to check out my brief time, my short review, my 72-hour review with this phone, definitely be sure to check the link in the description. And I did an 8K video demo, which looks super amazing. So check that out as well. And let me know what you think about all these photos and everything in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. And also, if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos like this drop in the future. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. This is Dom, and I will catch you in the next video.